What's up, everybody? I'm Jim with Straight Blast Pythons. Welcome to the channel. So I'm going to kind of try to make this a little bit of a shorter one today, but we're going to go over my goals and plans for 2024. Now, I'm going to go ahead and skip the normal logo rollout, and that's actually the first thing we're going to talk about here. So 2024, I am changing the business logo. I might have rolled it out already on a couple different social media sites, Instagram, stuff like that. The actual YouTube page should have the new logo on it, but long story short, I made that old logo right when I was getting started. I really didn't know too much about logos yet. The logo itself doesn't scale well vector wise. It was based on an actual picture of one of my snakes. After talking to some people, that's kind of a no-no, I guess, but doesn't actually translate well to print. And to be honest, I wanted a little bit more of a generic logo because I do plan to be into more species than just ball pythons. So new logo, here it is, some examples, got a light version, dark version. Gonna move into, trying to figure out a new opening with that logo here in the future, but first change for 2024. So, all right, like I said, this video is mainly gonna be about my plans and goals moving into 2024. It's not really gonna be talking about like pairings per se, because while I did make some videos on those already, a lot of that stuff has changed, and I'll talk about that in the future. But really, this is what I want to do with the collection, what I want to do with the business. Like I said, goals, plans. It's kind of a video that I can look back on from the end of the year to really try to hold myself accountable. Put the goals out there. There's a sense of accountability. So that's really what this is. And really just to let you guys know where I'm planning on going this year. So my last video, like I said, 2023 sucked. 2024, I'm looking at this as kind of like a get serious year. A few things I need to do as far as just like major stuff. We moved to Illinois from Virginia. All my business stuff, my, doing business as, anything I had to do with the state was all from Virginia. So before I start, selling anything here, I need to get all my paperwork together for Illinois, which is something that I'm going to be trying to do here in the next month or so. Got to keep things legitimate. So for those of you guys out there, I highly recommend actually being a legitimate business. If you plan to sell stuff, you don't want to deal with it if you ever get audited or caught doing something later. Just whatever, just be legal. So there's that. I got to get that taken care of. Secondly, our reptile room, which I was hoping to have done really right around the time we moved into the house, but we've had setback after setback after setback. I'm hoping to have that done late spring, early summer. Should be getting moving on again here in a couple of weeks. Got to start doing electrical and finish up a little bit of ventilation stuff so we can close up the walls and really get moving in there. But those are two major things, have to happen really quick at the beginning of the year, because to be honest, like I said, outside of just the business license stuff, my collection, I got racks here, I got an ARS rack in another room, I've got stuff, I think we got a rack upstairs. Yeah, we got a rack upstairs. We got stuff like scattered throughout the house, and it all needs to be put to a central point, so we need to get the reptile room together. That is goal number one, has to happen, priority. Enough said about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start out talking about the collection itself and what projects I'm moving into, stuff like that. Like I said in my last video, 2023 sucked. Kind of did a whole lot of soul searching, thinking where we're going with this, and I went into 2023 wanting to do the project working towards the True Ghost Kiki, and True Ghost G-Stripe Clown. I hate the Kiki name. I'm sorry, man. I understand why it's named that way, but yeah, anyway, still planning to work on that, but it's not the priority. It is a project that's being worked on, but moving heavily into the multi-recessive hypo clown stuff. So about half my collection is going to be focused on hypo clown plus insert other recessive here. Kind of like really starting to work. A lot of it's going to be long shot odds, triple het to triple het type stuff. Trying to hit that big project to move forward, because I don't have the money to go out and buy a triple visual or something, so it's going to be made the long way. It is what it is. So that's just half the collection. Though the other half of the collection, ball python speaking wise, I'm really going to focus in on the clown, and I made that decision. I know a lot of people work clown, a lot of people give flack to people who work clown, but I already have a lot of clown and het clown stuff here. I've got hypo clown visuals, stuff like that. that's just where I'm going to go with the rest of the collection. Half of it being focused on those multi-recessive long shot odds, and then the other half is going to be super focused in on making the single recessive, multi-codon visual clowns. And I don't really plan to follow any of the current trends. I'm not going after Pompeii's. I'm not going after Batmans or anything like that. I'm going to try to play with some genetic combos a little bit. I have a few ideas that I'll maybe touch on later, but my goal is to kind of find my own way in the clown, if that makes sense. And I know when you're making these like goal videos, you should have definable goals, but this one, it's kind of going to be a figure out as I go along, and I guess by the end of the year I'll know really if I found where I want to go with it or not. But the collection is going to be half clown, half triple recessive with focusing around that hypo clown stuff, at least for the ball pythons. So where I'm looking to go, is it right, is it wrong? I don't know. I'll definitely be making a lot of triple het hypo G-stripe clown stuff this year. I'm going to be should be making a whole bunch of visual clown double het hypo VPI stuff this year too. So got one or two other projects that are a little more out there that I'm going to toy with. I'm not really going to talk about too much, but I am going to work some albino clown stuff. I know that's not super popular, but I have a few ideas there after talking to a few people, seeing some examples of some stuff. So going to play with it, try to do things a little bit different. I want to kind of take a slightly less mainstream approach to clown. We'll see how it turns out. But that's going to really kind of define the path forward there. I am still going to work, like I said, the G-stripe clown stuff, but I'm going to push it in a couple different ways. I also want to find a way for like 2025 to maybe work pied into the collection, start working some hypo clown pied stuff. But again, that's 2025 stuff. I'm just thinking in advance already, just because that's what you kind of got to do. But really, that's my idea for focusing the collection forward. I'm not looking to be someone like Kabilka or Eric DeMeyer or Billy with Mutation Creation with this huge collection of all kinds of stuff. I want to be that smaller, powerful collection, and I think that's the way to go with it, is to really focus on a solid base. And that's what I'm going to spend this year for 2024 doing, is trying to make a very powerful base to work off of for the next couple of years coming up. So a lot of multi-gene clown and Krypton stuff I want to hold back for that side of things, and a lot of multi-codom triple hets for the other projects. I'm going to probably, before the end of this year, get rid of just about anything that doesn't have any sort of visual or het recessive to it, just because it's not really benefiting where I want to go with the project. Starting out last year, I was planning on making what some of those people call like the sustainability clutches, the banana stuff, the bell stuff, just to kind of really try to get some of the stuff that moves. I'm not doing that anymore, man. I'm just going to really focus the collection. I want to get really specific to go where I want to go and just not mess around with other stuff. I don't want to start putting myself into a spot where I'm producing clutches just to produce clutches. I really want to be in that situation where every clutch I produce has a target animal or a purpose for why I'm making the pairing. I think that's the best way to go moving forward. So that's my plans with the collection in terms of ball pythons. Sticking on the collection, I want to make it just an overall goal for the next couple of years. I want to add a new species to the collection every year. I said earlier this year, my goal is not to be a ball python breeder, but a overall python breeder. And there's a lot of different species that I like. I picked up, I've said it before, a trio of Woma pythons, a 1.2 group. Still yet to make a video on those, and I need to do that. But I'm really enjoying raising them up, seeing them get bigger. They were pretty much hatchlings when I got them. They're coming up on that yearling mark now. They put on some pretty good size. Really enjoying actually the experience of raising them up. It's something just a little bit different. Going here into 2024, I think I'm pretty set on either picking up a small group of short-tailed pythons, probably Sumatrans. I really do like the orange head or pumpkin head stuff, as well as the chromes, or get into one of the subspecies of carpet pythons. I was really talking to a bunch of breeders of both of them at this last fall Tinley, kind of looking at where I want to go, and I'm kind of undecided on that as of right now. It's going to be one of those two species. I would love some input from you guys that actually do keep or breed them. What do you guys think? Should I go into carpets or should I get into the short tails? Like, put it in the comments below. I really truly do want to know what you guys think on that, because I'm torn. I really like both of them, and I like them for different reasons. So I don't know. It's probably going to be just, I don't want to say an impulse decision, because I'm trying to get away from that and really, really getting, like I said, focused on what I'm doing. But I know ultimately I do want to get into both of those species. And right now, like, in my mind, it's kind of up to a coin toss on which way I go for 2024. Like I said, one species this year. That's the goal. All right, so marketing wise, I want to start doing shows. I'm going to put a goal of doing 2 smaller local shows and try to get into one larger show. Like, we got a couple of them that are just kind of like the small pet quality stuff in the area, and that should be easy to get into. I don't know as far as what larger one I would try. I got to do a little more research on that, but this goal I know is largely going to be dependent on what we wind up having as far as, luck with clutches here, because my goal was to do a couple of smaller shows here, in Northern Illinois as soon as we got moved out here to try to get into the community. But I just had nothing, like, inventory wise in 2023. Like I said, it didn't go out so well. So this one is kind of going to be dependent on what we wind up seeing clutch wise, but we're pairing, I got to look at my chart again, but I think it's like 14 or 15 clutches. So while it's nowhere near these, 50 to 100 plus numbers that a lot of you guys out there are doing, that's going to be a lot of clutches for me. That'll be way more than the 4 that I had this last year. So if all goes well, we'll have a pretty good inventory, and I'm going to have a lot of, multi-het options to put out there. And I know that doesn't always sell great for the pet market, but it's going to be a lot of mixed codom stuff. So should be able to feel both like a larger show where we're interacting with maybe some lower end breeders, as well as the pet market for some smaller stuff. And my goal is 2 of those small shows and 1 slightly larger, maybe regional show for 2024. I just really want to work to get the name out there a little bit more than just the social media, actually get in person behind a table, like the networking and stuff that happens at like Tinley and Schaumburg and these shows that we've been going to the last couple of years are great, but I actually would like to get a presence set up to at least get back in that market. We did vend a couple of shows in 22, but it's been a while. I actually want to get a professional set up and get a table set up. It just really start moving to that next level of where I want straight blast pythons to be in the future, even if it's just, one table with one display of a couple animals. I want to get out there. That's a goal. 3 shows. The last group of goals I want to cover are all social media based, because honestly, I got a lot for that. Morph market. I guess the morph market can maybe go into the marketing, getting out there side of things too. But by the time this video comes out, I should finally actually have a morph market. Hopefully, have some stuff posted. If I don't, it'll be very soon. That's something I've kind of been dragging my feet on actually making, because I really haven't felt that I had the inventory to put up there, and I don't know if I really still do or not, but there's a couple animals that I want to kind of test out there that they're just some gene combinations that, while it's nothing too crazy, I don't see anything up there right now with those combos. So I'm just going to kind of dip my toes into that, maybe try an auction or 2, something like that. But I'm going to get on morph market here, definitely going into this early part of 2024. But the other social media platforms, I do have a lot of focus on. So like here on YouTube, I'm going to make it a focus to try to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. And it's honestly not about monetization. And I don't know if that's something that some people can believe or not, but I'm not trying to be the next big YouTube guy. I've said it early on in, my videos with this channel. Like, my goal here is really just to kind of converse with the reptile community as a whole. I want to get conversations going. I like talking to people in the comments. I like maybe the idea of responding to people, have people responding to me. My goal is really to engage with the community. And if I get monetized, I get monetized, but it is what it is. My goal for getting more subs is that gets that reach out there, the interaction, subscriber accounts, likes, all that type of stuff. That gets interaction with the videos, which in turn spreads the videos out to more people and can get a wider reach within the community. That's my goal there, but I am going to put that 1,000 subscriber goal. We just broke 500 this week, a couple days ago prior to making this video. So halfway there already, going into January. we'll see if we can hit that. If we can, cool. If not, I guess I did something wrong. But continuing here on the topic of YouTube, I was really sporadic throughout 2023. Some of that, yeah, is my fault of being lazy sometimes, but really a lot of that came down to the separating from the military, moving cross country. There was just a lot of events that occurred that took my attention away from social media. And now that we're actually settled into our house here in Illinois, trying to get serious about things, really trying to push to make straight blast pythons a thing. I'm one of those people that likes to will things into existence, and I'm really trying to do that here. Like I will not fail type attitude. So my goal is going to be 3 videos a month, and I know that might kind of sound like an odd number. I want to have 2 videos that are kind of planned out. So when I first started this channel, I made a couple of videos that I think I was calling them like State of the Morph or something like that, and they really were misrepresented by that name. And it was videos that I had the intent of like trying to start communication or start conversation about a gene that you don't see so much or that has a little bit of a weird reputation to it. And while I really liked the idea of what I was trying to do with that, I think they kind of came out into videos of just me rambling a little bit. I wasn't comfortable behind the camera. I didn't really think the videos out very well. I just kind of like started talking. And while a couple of them, especially like the Blade Gene one, did fairly well, I'd like to kind of revisit that idea with a more focused mindset and a better approach. So once a month, I want to put out a video talking about a specific morph, and I don't know what I'm going to call these yet. Maybe something like morph mindset or genetic conversation, something, I don't know, but the idea behind it is going to be a video that's focused on creating a discussion. It's not going to be like breakdown videos or combo videos. It's really going to be talking about a single morph or a single combo that maybe isn't doing so hot in the industry, maybe is controversial in the industry. And like the goals of these videos are really going to be to try to get some conversation going in the comments, some back and forth, maybe even somebody getting a response video made, and being able to go back and forth that way, and really start having some conversations about these genes, because there's a lot of them that get a bad rap for no reason, or a lot of them that are really good in some combos, but people shy away from them because of something they do somewhere else, or misunderstandings about them. And like, I really do think that our industry as a whole, and I know I'm a new guy, so take this with a grain of salt, but I really do think a lot of people in our industry just chase trends. I don't want to do that. I want to kind of try to find my own path, and I think a lot of people would do better if they did the same. And I think having conversations like that, we really start just talking about different morphs, different genes, stuff that's forgotten about, ignored. That's how a number of people have made their names big, by picking up something that was completely ignored and just doing something awesome with it. And I would like to be able to start those conversations within the community to see what we can come up with. And like I said, once a month I'm going to pick a morph and just kind of talk about it. Another one I want to do monthly is a video talking really specifically about my experience and stuff that I've learned as a breeder, maybe some tips, and it's going to be focused towards people just getting in. Now I really want to emphasize the fact that yes, I know I'm only in my 3rd year of breeding, and I know that there are some people, bigger names, that I really do respect, that have criticized people like me who are just starting out giving advice. And that's warranted. Like, I truly do understand that. I want to explain why I'm going to do that. So I have a martial arts background, and one of those arts is Jeet Kune Do. And Jeet Kune Do, at least the organization that I teach through, doesn't have a belt system. We go by a theory that the best way to learn is to teach. And we have levels of instructor. And I have found that that is an extremely, extremely effective way to teach yourself and to learn things yourself, is to try to teach others. So, well, yes, I don't have 20 years of experience. I do have some. And I want to make those videos as a way to speak to people just starting out, because a lot of times from a relation standpoint, like I can watch a video of somebody who's only been doing this for like 3 to 5 years, or 1 or 2 years more than me, And I can relate and learn from them a lot better than I can learn from somebody who's been doing it from 20 to 30 years because the mindset is different. So I want to produce videos kind of talking to those new guys about what I've experienced and giving tips based on my experience. And that is going to allow me to teach and hopefully in return allow me to learn because it's going to force me to look at things from a different way. So I hope that made sense to you guys, but that's going to be what I'm going to try to do again once a month, some kind of tip or breeding related video. So I said I was going to do 3 videos a month. The third one I kind of want to leave open to just kind of pick a miscellaneous thing to do, whether it be like, I don't know, I have no idea. To have a product review, something new I'm getting into, animal pickup, I don't know. The third video is going to be completely random, and the reason I'm saying 3 videos a month is I want to leave a week open to maybe do like monthly kind of recap videos, like just, hey, what's going on here, what's changed, what are we looking forward to, kind of have a video working a little more on transparency, to really get what's going on in Straight Blast Python, or what's going on in the world of Straight Blast Pythons out there to you guys, because transparency I think is a big deal with really getting out there, because I mean you can go purchase a snake anywhere, right? You can go watch a video from any of the other breeders. It's really about, selling yourself, selling what, showing who you are and being yourself. So I want to focus on that a little bit too, and maybe once a month put out something like just, hey, here's a behind the scenes what's going on here. So that's kind of where I'm looking at pushing the YouTube side of things here throughout 2024. So recapping that, goal is to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, 3 videos a month with a possible 4th. So that's YouTube. Instagram, not going to be as complicated. I want to, again, get more involved in the community. Post a little bit more regularly, but, aside from the posting, I'm not that good at like actually commenting on people's stuff. I like a lot of stuff. I scroll a lot of stuff. I'm bad about actually commenting. So my goal for 2024 is to start engaging more on Instagram. Again, not necessarily a measurable goal, but it's a focused goal. Facebook, I'm really thinking about getting involved in Facebook as well. And like, I know a lot of people rag on the Facebook groups, but every time I try to look up something, I wind up in a Facebook group again. And as of right now, I don't have a Facebook. My account got hacked like 2 years ago now, I think it was, and I could not get it restored. Facebook's customer service is horrible, and I just said, screw it at that point in time and never made another one. I take that back. I technically do have a Facebook account that is completely blank because I had to have one in order to make the Instagram for Straight Blast Pythons, if I remember correctly. But I am looking at starting to use Facebook a little bit, really just to get into local groups more than anything else. But I really don't know what else to say about that. May or may not do that. That's up in the air. But Facebook, start using it. That's a goal. Yeah, that's about it. Like, I know that they say your goals should be measurable. What do they call them? SMART goals, definable goals. A lot of these are subjective. I know that. The main point of this video is, like I said, try to start being transparent with you guys, tell you where I'm looking at going as far as Straight Blast Pythons as a business. Maybe put something out there to hold myself accountable, something I can look back at, January next year and be like, hey, did I actually achieve any of this? So I know most of you guys probably didn't even stick around. There's probably a lot of me rambling, but if you did, thank you for doing so. Like I asked earlier, in the comments below, short-tailed pythons or carpet pythons, and why? Other than that, I'm not taking up any more of your time. Here's to a good 2024. I'll see you next time.